Hi, sewing friends. Welcome to Scriptures and Stitches, where God will always be praised. I am Connie, and the other day I was of a monster. I loaded 2 quilts on my long arm, and I didn't know if it was going to work. But in the process of sharing that picture, somebody saw my great big ironing table and wanted to know how I made it. So, for my next trick, I'm going to try to do a tutorial on how to make this topper. Now, of course, the wool ironing mat is sold separately. I got this on Amazon. They're about $70. This is 60 inches by 22 inches. And there's several different brands. You can look and see what you like. The ironing table underneath, I picked that up at a thrift store for $5. Yeah, I did that. But the star of the show is this jewel. And it's not, the best work. It's what I put together because I needed something that was portable, that I could use where I wanted, when I wanted, and then get it out of the way. Putting my wool quilting mat on a table just was not gonna work. So, let me show you how I made this. So, of course, this is the back of it, and I'm not gonna make another one. I'm just gonna show you how I made this. This started out to be a 4x8 sheet of 3/8 plywood. Now, you're not going to get exactly 3/8, but something a tad bit wider than 3/8. Just ask somebody at the lumber yard, and then have them cut it. Have them make 2 cuts, making 2 pieces that are 22 inches wide by the long ways. Okay, you'll be cutting the ends off. They'll just cut one direction, and they will do it. You will also need a few tools. I love my Ryobi, and these are mine. Husband's been gone a long time, but these were mine before he was gone. For sure, you'll need a jigsaw. Now, you can do a straight cut with a jigsaw. It's not as easy. And then a straight saw. Lots and lots and lots of clamps and some wood glue. Now, this is the glue that I used. A better glue might be Liquid Nails Carpenter's glue, but this is what I had. Okay, so like I said, I've already made this. I'm just going to show you how I did it. And this looks a little bit upside down. No, I'm not hanging from the ceiling. It is upside down. I laid both boards, 2 boards, on the porch, and this is where I really did it. And I forgot to mention, I also used a Carpenter's pencil because they make such a nice pencil mark. And I traced all the way around the ironing board on this top slab of wood. And then when I had it traced out, I set this board, this one, up on these cinder blocks, and I used the jigsaw to cut out that shape. Now, I decided pretty quick after trying to horse that great big piece around, before I even cut it, I did cut this off shorter. Because it was just going to be too much to handle, and it would become really flimsy and floppy. Now, the reason that I got 2 boards, I wanted to create this frame to keep the entire topper from shifting around once I got it loaded on top of, set on top of the ironing board, and I didn't want to have to strap it down or anchor it down. And then I cut that one out separately. So I cut it with the jigsaw, cutting all the way around all of this, and then I used this glue and I gobbed it on pretty thick and smoothed it out with my finger pretty much. And then I clamped, remember it was sitting on top of these. I clamped the two pieces together about every 3 or 4 inches with the big heavy clamps. So here's what it looked like while it was being glued, and I let it cure for I think 2 days, and probably the liquid nails would have made a better glue. And you can tell, I forgot to say that this is going a different direction because I did end up recutting that piece because it just wasn't going to work what I was doing. That was when I decided it was just too flimsy, so I chopped it down. And then I put a little handle on that piece that I cut out there, and I'm using it as a design board, which is kind of fun. When it's not in use, it just leans up against the wall, behind the door, out of the way, not getting into any trouble any place. No, the steam from the steam iron does not bother it, and yes, I do use steam on my wool pressing mat. I got a high quality pressing mat, and it doesn't stink. And if it did, I'd just set it outside on the porch and let it air out. But that's how I did it. Thank you for watching. Share and like, and leave your comments and questions. Thank you so much.